I'm Sarah Cornish. Welcome. So, several months ago, our neighborhood pub in Fort Greene, Brooklyn closed without warning, completely stunning all of the regulars, who included me. It echoed neighborhood sentiment when a few years prior, our favorite neighborhood coffee shop, Tilly's, closed, and Tilly's had been around for over 13 years. The neighborhood was in transition, and I could barely keep up. I'd only been living there for 4 or 5 years, and I wondered how my neighbors who'd grown up in the neighborhood felt. People who were second, third generation Fort Greeners and Clinton Hillers, how were they coping with this rapid development? So I went to neighborhood veterans. I went to people who've lived here for decades, and I asked them how they were feeling. Howard Pish, an 80-year-old historian, told me that the neighborhood didn't have fresh food available until the late 90s, when his friend Bruce Lee opened a Korean grocer and finally provided the neighborhood with some fresh veggies. And that greengrocer is still around today. We met Fred in my video earlier. Fred opened a gourmet food store, as he says, 20 years too early. They made $80 in those 4 years the store was open. But people still stop Fred on the street and ask him where they can find that great prosciutto that they sold. So in talking to some of these people early on, I saw a common connection. Food was how my neighborhood was making sense of the rapid changes that were happening. Food was how people were preserving memories, were connecting, were talking about these changes, which makes sense. As we've seen in many other presentations tonight, food is social. It's a connector. In neighborhoods, food is food establishments, and food is where people come together, catch up, share, and learn. So with that in mind, I talked to Dr. Glos. And Dr. Glos is a Slovak woman who's been living in Fort Greene area for over 40 years and director of Fort Greene SNAP, a neighborhood resource center, for the last 18. Dr. Glos talked about how she's seen the transition really happen on the social services side. In the 1970s, Fort Greene, Brooklyn used to have over 30 different organizations to serve the community, and now we're down to only 8. So she says that she has noticed this enormous disconnect, this kind of isolation happen with people who really need certain things. So I'd seen this amazing kind of passion behind food in my neighborhood, this connection, this pride, and then these stories of kind of isolation and disengagement with the community told by people like Dr. Glos. So I asked how I could leverage the communality and commonality of food to make stories like Fred's and resources like SNAP more accessible to the community, hopefully re-engaging Fort Greene with its history and with each other. So I went back to the people of the neighborhood and had a ton of conversations with old people, with kids, with pastors, with farmers, teachers, supermarket managers. I talked to people in their kitchens, on the street, in their auto body shops, coffee shops, backyards. And then I decided to try and leverage one of the most famous Brooklyn institutions, Junior's Cheesecake, established in 1950. And if you know anything about Brooklyn, you've probably heard of Junior's. I went to Junior's, told them about the project, and that I was interested in neighborhood food history, and they gave me 8 huge peach cobbler cheesecakes, which I cut into pieces and with the help of friends distributed them in exchange for stories and local lore, collecting favorite foods, really, getting a lot of amazing pride generated from the community around food, around their history, from people who'd been living there for many generations. So at this point, I had all these incredible stories, really, really rich histories and deep connections to the community, and I wanted to map them and share them back with my neighborhood. So I decided to borrow from a familiar diner placemat as a tool, an appropriate technology for the project, and created the placemat. So around the outside of the placemat, we have these stories and recipes, memories of Fort Greene and Clinton Hill, Brooklyn. And then in the middle, there's a map that shares resources, where to get fresh produce, where to get good fresh fish at good prices. Then, with the help of several great volunteers, distributed the placemat to over 40 different neighborhood places, mostly food establishments, bodegas, supermarkets, community centers, restaurants, trying to reach all the far corners of the neighborhood, making the placemat accessible. In the distribution process, we talked to the people who were part of these institutions and establishments, and it was incredible to see how such a simple piece of paper could generate such incredible emotion. People shared more memories, demonstrating that there could be many, many more placemats where this one came from. Expressed excitement and enthusiasm about the resources they didn't know about, like food co-ops and fish markets, and were thrilled to kind of have an opportunity to re-engage with each other and with the place, with the history of the place. So in terms of next steps, beyond an interactive website and a social media presence, which of course don't reach every corner of the neighborhood, plan to create many more placemats and reach different communities and different events in the Brooklyn neighborhood that I live. And hopefully the placemat can be replicated far beyond Fort Greene, Brooklyn, into other changing neighborhoods to re-engage neighbors with the places that they live. And so please find me after at the wine bar with a stack of placemats, and I'd be happy to share them with you. So thank you so much. Thank you.